All right, I have two quotes about excellence on my boards. The first one I wrote, excellence attracts excellence, mediocrity attracts mediocrity. The second one is, excellence is 24/7. I'll talk about the second one first. Excellence is like a brand. It's a million small things that add up to an essence or a feeling. It's not one decision. It's a state of being for a person or a company or whatever. And if I want to be excellent, which I do, that's not something that gets turned off. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. And I forget who said that. I should really look it up. But if I want to be excellent, if I want that to be a term that describes who I am and how I conduct myself, it's going to be how I conduct myself all the time. Because if I don't behave in a way that seems excellent by my own standards 24/7, I'm going to know it's not real. And I need to know that it's real. It has to be real for me. And the other one is, I'm looking over at the thing. The other one is, excellence attracts excellence, mediocrity attracts mediocrity. I think about businesses. If those million things add up and a business is excellent and people know, it will attract high caliber employees and it will produce high caliber products and it will be successful. But if a business is mediocre, then that will also just ripple out to everything. The products, the services, the employees, all of that. And I think a lot of this is really dependent on the leadership. Culture trickles down. So a leader or group of leaders with incredibly high, rigorous standards will produce an excellent organization. I'm sitting here thinking as if this is new, but it's new to me. There's a quote from the beginning of Make Something Wonderful by the late Steve Jobs' wife, and she says something about rigorous standards which he applied most stringently upon himself. Steve was the barometer for Apple. If I'm going to be the barometer for my gym, I have to have high standards and, as much as humanly possible, be excellent 24/7. Because I want to make an excellent product. And I need to fulfill that promise to myself at all times, or at least as much as possible. This all came about because it's Sunday afternoon right now, and I don't want to really do a workout. But I was also thinking about when Chris Bumstead was doing a Q&A one time, and somebody asked him, what was the hardest thing you did in all your years of bodybuilding? This was post-retirement. He said, there was no one hardest thing. The hardest thing I did was doing the easy things every single day for 10 years. And I think about that in stupid things like brushing my teeth and exercising. I like exercising. I don't want to do it right now. But if I want to be excellent, like excellence is made when people aren't looking. I think this channel deserves an explanation as to why it exists. So I'm starting a business, a gym, and I'm looking for people who have gone before me. And there are people who have gone before me, of course, but I have not found anybody who, I just don't look jacked. I'm tall. I'm 6'2". And if you're tall, congratulations, you're tall. You're not going to look as jacked. If you're 5'6", sorry, you're short, but you're going to look way more jacked. It's very frustrating to me. But like, I feel like I can only really see it in my triceps, and I'm not even that lean yet. I'm working on it. We're down weight, and we're going to be down more weight. But the point is, I've been looking for people who are doing what I'm doing and can just offer specific advice and stories and learnings. But the only people that I find are people who are like way on in their career, like Eric Levine, or like I read this story. This is about the guys who founded Gold's Gym Venice. And that was great. There were good actionable insights from there, but I want to be able to go back to the very beginning of somebody's journey and track with them as they did it, and to hear like the nitty-gritty behind the scenes of what they were thinking and what they were doing. Maybe Christian Guzman has this. I haven't looked far back enough on his YouTube channels to check it out. I think a lot of people are very polished about it, and this is going to be less polished. I will be going through what I think, what I'm learning, probably random stuff too. It's not so much the journey of me starting a business as it is the journey of me becoming the sort of person who can start and run a successful business. And that's what I'm interested in. So kind of leaving a digital paper trail for anybody in the future who wants to do something similar. Because people will they'll talk about it, but they'll be vague and they won't drop dollar amounts. It's like pulling teeth to get any gym owners to actually say dollar amounts. I don't know why. Opening a gym is friggin' expensive, and everyone kind of does it different ways. Maybe people are ashamed to be saying that they're going to try to get a loan for it. That's what I'm going to try to do. I don't have $350,000 laying around in my pocket to start this up. I wish I did. I don't want to go into debt, but it is what it is. But that's the point of all of this. I'm hoping that as I record more of these videos, I'll get the crappy videos out of the way in anonymity before anybody's watching. And then if I pick up a fan base, then I'll be better. If more people watch, and I will get better at making the videos and speaking on camera and being more eloquent at the same time. So maybe you're watching from the future and you found me and you went back to the very beginning, in which case, hi. Or maybe this all crashed and burned, and then we'll see. Also, I'm just learning and reading and studying and researching and thinking all the time about all this stuff. And I don't really have somebody who, I don't know, there's no one where it would be a good use of their time to listen to me rant about everything, because I could rant for multiple hours every day. My wife is great, but she's just not obsessed. She'll listen, but I want to rant like an obsessed person. And she's got her own life that also I want to talk about and I'm interested in. And there's no one else that's that I know kind of in my community in Tucson who's really doing something like this. I think Chris Williamson would refer to this as the lonely chapter. That sounds very self-mythologizing, but I don't know. It feels that way. But if I say things to the anonymous internet, then I can get it out of my head. And maybe it'll be helpful to somebody. The internet broadens your community to everybody, which is it's great. Get ready for a lot of these videos to be recorded at night, because that's when I go on walks and that's when I think. about things. I used to listen to a lot of podcasts and audiobooks at night, and I've been trying to do that less and just let my mind get processing time. So here is some information about the finances and membership charges of local gyms and just gym pricing in general. The reason why a Planet Fitness is able to charge $15 a month is because when a Planet Fitness opens, they have got a mountain of cash from their shareholders and investors, private equity, etc. They've got a mountain of cash, which enables that location to run at a loss for a year or however long until they reach like a critical point of members that enables them to sustain the rent and to cover the equipment charges and etc., because the rent is typically a very large square footage space. So a Planet Fitness or a Choose or a Vasa or whatever has the capital to run at a loss for years before they break even. A local gym, unless you have a pile of money, and I don't, a local gym can't afford to do that. So I always used to hate, because a local gym, I mean, all the situations are different, but the odds are very low that there's a mountain of cash and that local gym can afford to rent out a 10,000 square foot space and charge $15 a month and run at a loss until they hit, 3,000 members or something like that. I used to be a hater. Not a hater. I used to not understand why local gyms were so expensive. When I was first starting this, I thought, $50 a month, excuse me, that's ridiculous. I'm going to charge $25, undercut all these bozos with my lower prices. Then I get into the actual financials of it and I realize $50 a month is not because a local gym wants to be exceptionally profitable. $50 a month is survival for a local gym. A locally owned gym without a huge financial backing needs to charge something like that because they have a much lower period of time during which they can run at a loss. Like in my financial projections, I can run at a loss based on my growth rate. I can run at a loss anywhere from 18 months to 3 years. And at that point, if I haven't broken even revenue wise, I'm out of money and I close down. So that's a little bit of why your local gym costs more than your HVLC, which is a high value, low cost gym. HVLCs are Choose, Vasa, Planet Fitness, a little higher tiers like a Crunch. So that's the first thing, which brings me to my second topic, which I need to remember what it was. Oh yeah, this is a thing that I remembered. This is a thing I used to be a hater about. I used to hate on sign-on fees and annual charges. I used to think, $20 a month, like a $50 sign-on fee, $60 annual charge. These greedy pigs just want extra money from me. They're just printing profit off of my fees. And then I realized that's a very simplistic way to think about it because it's all optics. I am trying like the devil to get my monthly charge lower than $50 a month. And if if everything lines up perfectly and all my costs come in lower than I think, and that's probably not going to happen, that will happen. I'll hit $50 a month. But let's say that I want to have a competitively priced product. Let's say that I want to come in at $40 a month because I'll have a smaller square footage than a lot of local Tucson gyms, and I just want to have a more competitively priced product because it'll be a newer product. It'll be a smaller square footage. Like I said, I'm just repeating myself now, but I could charge $50 a month, or And let's say every competitor in Tucson is charging between $50 and $60 a month, which is roughly accurate. I can charge $50 a month, which could, the optics, so this is all about optics. The optics could come across as, this guy is charging the same as another much larger, more established gym, but he's charging the same amount as them. Why would I pay that? Or I charge $40 a month. I charge a $60 sign-on fee and a $60 annual fee. That equates to the same amount as $50 a month, like annually, but the optics make it look way cheaper. And it has the bonus of I get it helps with pre-sales and with starting a gym, because I get an influx of money up front. So I think I finally, took me a long time to understand this, because like nobody explains it, which is why I want to do this YouTube channel, because I want to explain it. The system of it is, and there might be other reasons, I might be wrong, but I think it's just optics. Like a $50 a month gym with a $60 sign-on fee is a $55 a month gym, but you don't see the sign-on fee when you look at the pricing page. The big number is the monthly cost, and it's really brilliant. And so like I said, I'm fighting like the devil to get down below $50 a month. And I think the way that as in what I explained earlier, it's just tough out here for a locally owned gym without a huge pile of cash to run at a loss for a long time. I think in order to get to $50 a month, I might have to charge $45 a month with a $60 sign-on fee. And I hate it. I didn't want to do that because it feels like a gimmick to me. Not deceptive, but I love simplicity. I want to get, I like the Steve Jobs school of thought, where every decision or offering needs to be as close to one as possible. And so hey, this is the monthly charge. There's no sign-on fee. There's no annual fee. There's no nothing. This is it. It's $50 plus whatever the tax is that comes out of your account every month. But I think for optics' sake, I might have to go lower monthly rate with a sign-on charge. It just makes sense from a business perspective to get that influx of cash when people sign up, especially if I'm pre-selling a lot before we open. I don't want to do an annual fee. I still hate annual fees. I think they're stupid. I've had memberships at a lot of gyms that charge an annual equipment maintenance fee, and the equipment is terrible and is always broken and is not maintained, and they never get new equipment. I'm building a budget line in for new equipment, for upgrades, repairs, new pieces, replacements. That's already included in the monthly charge. But all that to say, that's a crash course of what I have been learning about gym economics.